our college Srinagar in collaboration with Cape Overifra Tamil. I extend a warm welcome to my colleagues, students, and participants from all the parts of the world. Well, needless to say, research is indispensable part of academy. This FDP will undoubtedly be beneficial to budding researchers, students, and while pursuing research, we face different sorts of difficulties. So this FDP will certainly help us to combat with those issues. So far, we have listened to learned resources like Dr. Prasenji, Dr. V. Sarvanan, Dr. Vinashri, Dr. Marcia, Dr. Suchitra, and today's speakers are Dr. Neelambada Pade and Dr. Sudhakar Malu. I hope today will also benefit from their expertise. About the first resource person, Dr. Neelambada Pade. He has received his MCA in 2003. Sorry. He has received his MCA in 2003 from Viju Patnaik University of Technology and has done his MTech in 2009 from the Birambur University. He has received his PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from Pehor under the supervision of Professor R.P. Singh and Professor Suresh Chandra. He has published many articles in SCI indexing as well as focus indexing like Passenger, Elsevier, Engine Science, etc. He has also published many conference papers and book chapters. He has more than 50 publications to his credit in various reputed international journals and conference proceedings. He has more than 17 years of teaching, not only teaching but research experience as well. His research interests include machine learning, data mining, swarm intelligence studies, and their applications to engineering. Recently, Dr. Neelambada Pade has published twice patents and a copyright. Currently, he is working as an associate professor in Gandhi Institute of Engineering and Technology. He has served as a reviewer and editorial board and conferences as well. Dr. Neelambada Pade, I welcome you to first technical session of the course of this FDP. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Junaid. It's my pleasure. Yeah, my voice is audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you very much. So, respected the organizer, the committee members, the moderators of International Virtual Faculty Development Program on Tools and Technique in Research. My dear colleagues, my friends, and the participant of the varieties from the different locations. Yeah, now we'll start the lectures. Before this, I wanted to check, okay, my audio and video is okay, properly good?
Yes, sir. You're audible
Yeah.
as well as visible.
Okay, right. Now I will share my PPT. Now we'll start the lecture. It is about 1 hour.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
6 to
Yes,
7.
ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Right.
Okay, fine, right. Yeah. Once again, it's a very good evening. Today I'm going to discuss the topic related to publishing a paper in the quality journals. Now, why one scholar will publish a quality journal? What exactly the benchmark that we need to publish in the quality journal? What exactly the hazards that are coming to publish the peer-reviewed, reputed journals that we are going to discuss? And this is Dr. Neil Madhavpadi, and the lecture title is Publishing a Paper in the Quality Journals. Now, I am the member of ACM, CSI, IEEE, and various organizations that I have associated with. And my research area is generally a physiologic, physiset. And I'm working at present Twitter analysis, subcomputing techniques, big data analytics, and mainly for software engineering. Now, before we start the concepts, what exactly a research, how do you publish a good journals, what are the problems that arises to publish a good journal? I want to know that when exactly the article published, scientific article published. May I know when the first scientific article published and which journals? Can anybody tell when exactly the first scientific article published? When the first scientific article published? Do you have some idea? The publishing is not started 2020 or 2021 or during the Corona period. Fine. Now in the decades we have started the publishing a paper. The first article was published in 1665, and the journal that is for first academic journal, that is called a Journal des Sciences. This was the first scientific articles which is published. But why exactly the publication needed? Right? There are a lot of concepts are there for publishing ethics that we should require. And more or less we can say the research is nothing but to more and more about less and less. Very important statements. To know more and more about less and less, this is what exactly a research. And this research is basically divided in two types, inductive research as well as deductive research. Now that inductive research methods are used only for analyze the observation which we have. But in case of deductive methods that are used to verify the object phenomenon. So this research means what? We try to get the new idea. The research is what we try to find the novelty of existing problem. And most of the times, my guide or other researcher also told only one thing. Research, you don't want to become a new Newton. Once my supervisor told, would you like to become a Newton? I said no. Then why the statement he told? Because of this is a research. Because I took 2.5 years to publish a single article. I have submitted different journals, but my article get rejected because of lack of knowledge about research. And I tried because my guide told, okay, if delta thinks that you have changed in your existing problem, then that is become your novelty. So most of times we say, what is the novelty of your paper? Isn't it? Now, what is the novelty? Why should we focus novelty? Why the researchers, they are focusing on the novelty? Because we wanted to know what the changes that we have done on existing problem statements. So that's why we should have our own best paper, that is called as a seed paper. Normally the supervisors, they will provide you the seed paper. By seeing the seed paper, you need to deep dive that seed paper, then only you will get a problem statements. You will understand what exactly the problems that you have, what exactly the researchers, they carry out the research, what the methodology they have followed, which algorithm they have used, what data set they have used, what is the research gap. You take their own data set, you take their own problem statement, now start doing the implementation, which will take 1.5 years, not less than 1 month or 2 months to publish a paper. Now, sometimes it happens, it is the problem of the supervisor, they will ask to publish immediate paper. It is not possible. Sometimes it happens from the management side, from the university side, we require a paper for showing the NBA or any committee. That is the wrong thing. Yeah?
Sorry to intervene you. Your slides are not visible.
No, slide is there. Slide is there. I'm not discussing the slides content.
Okay. Please
it is there, ma'am. Side is there.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah. So if someone will ask you to publish the paper in the overnight, don't do it. Don't trap it. Right? You follow the supervisor, what exactly they will advise you. Right? So why I'm telling, because the problem statement is the most important thing for publishing a good journals. Right? So I told one thing that is called as a delta. That is called as a delta. If delta thinks that required to change in the existing problem, that is what exactly called as a research. So the reviewer, they will ask, what is the novelty? You need to define, this is the problem statement, existing problem statement, which we have seen in the seed paper or the base paper. On that base paper, I have changed something else, some modification that I have changed, so that my new approach is better than that existing approach. That is what we call as a research. Now, this statement that everyone should digest what exactly a research, and most of times we don't want to become a new Newtons. If we wish, okay, we will become, but it is very difficult for getting the complete new innovation problems. There are two kinds of problems research are going on. One is incremental work, the things which I told, that is called as incremental work. Already some work is available. You need to follow the base paper. You need to follow the seed paper, which the supervisor will provide you. Now that is the most important things, right? Now, what exactly we need to target? What exactly the new problem statement would be? How the new problem will be tackle existing problem statement, and how my approach would be better than the existing approach. This is what the last line told. Okay, this is to know more and more about less and less. This is what we understand a research means. Now, 90% work, 90% researchers, they only focus for incremental research, incremental work. Some modification they try and they to achieve the new result, so that they are going to write a paper. Fine. Another kind of paper is called as the experimental paper, completely new, the scientific papers. Your innovation, completely your thought process will be different. Fine. Now, what are the different components of the publications? The first component would be a journal publications. Now, where you can publish a paper, it may be the international conference, maybe national conference, maybe in terms of book chapter, maybe edited volumes, maybe monographs, patent, copyright, symposium, technical report, review for reviewing a publications. This is what a systematic literature review paper. So these are the different components are available where you can target your problem statements find in terms of the publications. Now coming to a journals. So there are different kind of journal publication house are available which will publish the several articles. Now it is very difficult to tabulate how many journals are available. The best examples that I will share you. Fine, most of the scholars you may know the Anna University. Fine. Now the beautiful they have designed the Anna University, they have provided if you are a master degree, if you are a PG student, then follow these journals. If you are a PhD student, then you follow these journals. That is Annexure 1, Annexure 2, Annexure 3. They have completely provided all the list to the scholars once the scholar will admit to the university. So if it is a PhD scholar, then they should publish the article in Annexure 1 journal. There are more than 35,000 journals are available in the Anna University. So this is what I am telling, okay, the journal list tabulating is very difficult, but in India, only one university they have done, that is called as Anna University. You can also follow their website, you get all the valid Scopus and SCI journals. No need to worry, this journal is, today it is a Scopus, sorry, the next month, the automatically Scopus will be removed. You know why the Scopus will remove? That story is different. That if time permit, that I will tell you. So immediately what happened in the Anna University, they also make a circular. This journal is removed by the Scopus. The dear scholar, you don't opt this journal while you submitting your new articles, new findings. So anyway, some of the important, okay, that is for good journals that I'm targeting. For example, IEEE transactions, ACM publications, Springer publications, InterScience publication, IGI Global, and LCPI. If you publish these journals, then definitely no one will question you. These all are the peer-reviewed journals. The new terminology that is called as a peer-reviewed. Fine. Then sometimes again the same the peer reviewed is again divided into a single blind, double blind peer review journals. In a single blind, what happens? The reviewer know all the author names. Double blind peer review, what will happen? Neither the author nor the reviewer know with each other. This is what we call as a double blind peer review. Now, your finding may be in terms of regular articles, maybe a short communications. Any problem? Any problem?
No. Please continue.
Okay, right. Thank you. Now, short communication. So, what is short communication? It is a 2 pages only. It is 2 pages. IIT journal that has one particular articles that journal they normally requires for 2 pages double column, hardly 4 pages SCI indexing journals. That is called as a short communications. Regular article, you need the problem statement, models, you need have a hypothesis, then algorithm, results, everything that you need to incorporate in a regular papers. But in short communication, the highlights, the state of art, it is very difficult to publish a short paper in peer-reviewed journals. You can also check IIT Communications. One journal name is there, that is called as IIT Communication. Hardly it will take 2 pages. That means 4 pages single column, 2 pages double column. It is the SCI indexing journals. Very It is very, very difficult to change that journals. Now, third kind of article that is called as a review papers, systematic reviews. Now, whenever you are targeting any systematic review, then it is a challenging task. Never ever publish your review paper at earlier as possible. So normally what happens when you submit your thesis, after that, the scholars normally publish the review paper because review never ends. Reviewing a paper is okay, it's very difficult, and publish a review paper is also too much difficult. Now, survey papers. Errata is very important. Okay, I hope you understand what exactly the errata. Suppose you have published one article, some information that is missing, data set that is for missing, and your affiliation is changed. During submission, it was for NIT. During publication time, when the article goes to production, prior to acceptance, okay, now it is go to the production. During production, it will provide you the proofread. Meanwhile, if you had your affiliation changed, or after online, if your affiliation changed, if some data fabrication you have done, but the reviewer, the editor-chief, they have pointed out you have done some fabrication in your data set, some fabrication done your experiment. Shall we retract or shall you revise your papers? So on that stage, if any modification done, then that paper will called as a erratum, or sometimes it is called as a errata. Okay. Now, what is errata? After online, for example, version 1, okay, available in your internet sources, some modification you required during your side, or you have approached to the journal, or the journal editor-chief, they have identified some mistakes that you have done, and they requested you to modify the information. Now that is published, that kind of article is called as a errata. Right? One is regular paper. Second one is short communications. Third one is only review paper. Fourth one is survey paper. Fifth one is errata. So these are the 5 different ways to publish the articles. Now, what exactly the structure of the papers? What is the standard structure? Maybe some journals, they follow a single column. Some journals, they follow a double columns. That depend upon the journal policies. But the overall structure will be, the title will be required, then author informations, then abstract, then keywords, then introduction, literature review, concept and notations. So these are the standard structure. When exactly you will write the abstract, when you will write a conclusion, that I will tell you later. Right? Now then, after some algorithm or some results, experimental setup, result and discussion, analysis of the result, conclusion, scope for further improvement, that is called as a future research, then references. So most of the article they rejected because of the reference. Reference plays a vital role. Reference plays a vital role, my dear. Several articles rejected during my PhD because of reference problems. I will tell you how to add the reference. It is very easy. You can check Google Scholar. Go to Google Scholar. Fine. And this is one article that is published in Evolutionary Intelligence. Suppose you want to take this article, suppose you want to read this article and you want to add this article in your reference. Normally what the students are doing, that I will tell you what the mistakes. First I will tell you the mistakes. Fine, they will copy like this. Okay, they will entire thing they will copy. Okay, wait, notes where they will copy, then after they will arrange. This is the wrong process. No required to copy and paste it. Very simple way you can add the references, and references are different types, maybe APA styles. Fine, there are different styles are available. I will show you that styles. So don't do this kind of activity when you finish one article and try to put these article details in your reference section. Fine. Now what is the way? Okay, go back. Okay, you just type the articles, any articles. Fine. For example, this article I will type. Okay, you will get this screen. Then after see, this is the double quote is available. Double quote means citation purpose. Fine. Now you click this double quote. If you click this double quote, there are several ways are available to represent your references. It may be ML style, it may be APA style, it may be a Chicago style, Harvard style, Vancouver styles. There are 5 different styles are available which incorporate in your reference sections. Nothing to do, you just click find APA styles. Automatically one click, it will be copy all the things. You copy these ones and you put in your reference section, make it alignment. Now this is your final references, and this references is exactly called as a APA style. So while you submit your article to any kind of journal, you need to find their guidelines. Okay, every guidelines will be available their home pages. Fine, and you need to target that particular journal which is suitable, not randomly you will submit articles. This is what we call as a reference setting. Now if you want for any MLA, you click this one. If you go for Chicago, if you write your thesis, that then the reference style is different. If it is a MTech, if it is a PhD, so there are different styles are available. So all these styles are there. If someone will ask you, sir, I want to develop my article in latex, can it be possible in this approach? Yes. If you want to write a latex, fine. Then we have a bib text. We have a big text. Click this bib text. Automatically it will provide you the details. You copy this one and paste in your overlap or latex in your text file. Automatically this information will be arranged in your articles. So this is what the referencing manager or reference manager. Fine. Now the references. Now second point that I'm telling this is what the abstract. This is the abstract. Now you write your you will write your abstract at the end, not at the beginning. Someone will suggest you, as you have done the experiment, you start writing the abstract, then after introduction. No, abstract and conclusion must align with each other. Once every section will be over, then after you will pinpoint, you need to write a pinpointed word to in the abstract sections. In the generally in abstract, there will be a methods and materials need to be right. There will be a statistical measurement need to be added. There will be a objective. There will be a conclusion. These 4 parts that you should write. Again, this is also depend upon journal to journal. Otherwise, the abstract must be within 150 to 200 or 250 or 200 words. Again, that is also depend journal to journal, but not less than 150, not more than 200 words. So abstract must be, abstract is the pinpointed work which you want to showcase to the reviewer. Fine, because you need to upload the abstract first. I will show you, sir, how do you know that which journal is my targeting journals? Which journal I should target? Which journal I should focus? How do I know that this is the right journal? My dear, there are lot of techniques are available. In Springer, this is called as a journal suggester. In Google, you write down journal suggester. You can do journal suggester. It may be Elsevier, it may be Springer. Everywhere it is available. That is called as a journal suggester. Now, what exactly the journal suggester does? Journal suggester provides a list of potential journals of your work. What exactly I'm telling? The journal suggester will provide you the list of journal which is suitable, the work which you have carried and the work which we wanted to. Again, it will provide the best journals and the average journals and the moderate and the last journals according to the impact factor, according to the decision, number of times it will take for review, how many revisions, how many days it will take the first decisions. So all the details they will provide according to your abstract. Now I will click this once. Now here you need to provide a manuscript title. So I have this article that I wanted. Okay. I will show you just here. Just wait, just. This is one of the abstract. Okay. Now abstract. Okay. Sorry. Manuscript. Now copy the title I need to provide, the abstract that I have copied, area, subject area. Okay, you need to choose the subject area. Here list of areas are available. Which area you are working? Maybe architecture design, maybe biomedicine, business management, computer science. I choose a computer science. Suggested journals. See, a list of journals that provided us. Fine. What are the journals? My work is more suitable in multimedia tools and applications. Fine. Now, what is the impact factor? 2.757. How many days it will take for giving the first decision? Average is 157 days. What is the acceptance rate? 41%. Now, second journal. Now done. Okay, like this, there are so many journals are available. These are the potential journals of my work. Now, everything that depends upon your impact factor, time to decision, acceptance rate, fine. And by seeing these factors, the information that is available. See, this is 28%, this is 36 percentage. Fine, it will give a 62 days, it will give a 89 days, it is 101 days. Like this, there are different informations available. The same thing that is also available in elsewhere. In some of the journals, they require a keywords. Fine. Journal suggester elsewhere. Okay. Now this is Elsevier suggester. This is a tool. This tool will provide which journal is suitable. paper title. Once again, same. I will make a copy, paste here, abstract. I will copy, I will paste the abstract, keywords. Okay. Now, what are the keywords? These are the keyword that we have in our papers. Keywords. So keyword found. What happens? Some mistakes there. And area, agriculture and biology. Choose find the journals. Okay, got it? There are okay different journals that retrieved by the Elsevier. Fine. Here also the same thing. Same thing. Here that is a site score, impact factor is 11, acceptance rate, time to first decision 1 week, time to publication after acceptance that is 25 weeks. The name of the journal is called as a Physics of Life Reviews. Now, computer and electronics agriculture, like this, there are different journals that are available. Fine. The most important task is to need to select the journal first. Select the journal, target one of the best journals. Then after you carry out your work according to their style, according to their reference manager, according to their work, abstract, introduction, all this template that you have. Then after once your implementation over, then you start writing their templates. Anything happen? Okay, right.
No, sir, please continue.
Right. Thank you. Now, so this is what a journal suggester of Springer, journal suggester of Elsevier, because this is the most important, okay, the concept, because the students, okay, the students of PhD 3rd year and 4th year, still they are asking, sir, which journal that we will communicate. I don't know required to ask anything. We have a tool. Fine. So only the 3 things required: abstract, your title, then after your keywords. If you have, then you can get the better and better journal. These are the, okay, not good, these are the best journals in Elsevier. Fine. Now, this is what we call as a journal suggesters. Fine. And I wish, okay, you will prepare your paper in a fine latex, not for word processors. Fine. You should develop your papers in a latex or overleaf. One example that I will give you, how exactly I am, okay, taking care of my scholars' work. Just I will show you. Just Bikram Sindhu. Okay. Now, then the scholar need to share their file in overleaf. Then automatically, okay, the work will, okay, you can check their works immediately. You can correct their works immediately. Fine. If you follow the latex, then it is a difficult task for you, because latex is not an online based editor. Fine. It is only for standalone. Okay, where exactly that I will check and I will tell you. Fine. During this course of time, let us see. Okay, I wanted to show you how exactly you need to share your work to your supervisor in overleaf. It is there. Okay. Now, view project. This is the beautiness of overleaf. Fine. Now, what exactly the task he is doing? Fine. And that things that I can check here by sitting in my place, in my cabin. No required to come to my cabin and focus their research. This is the beautiness of your overlay. Now, this is what the information he wrote. Fine. And this is the document. I need to require for recompile. Okay. Then I will make a download this ones and I will get the document clearly. Now, this is the work he has done in a particular date. You can check that whether he is doing or not. Sometimes it happens, sir, I am doing, sir, I am doing. Lot of times it happens, the scholars are telling, sir, this work I have done, this work I have done, overnight I have done. No, my dear, everything is okay, it is available. Fine. If you go for the history, okay, all the history says that at what time you have logged in and what percentage of work you have completed in the existing document. You can check 7/9. Okay, now he has done. He has 7:15 a.m. or sorry p.m. So this is what you are currently seeing the last 24 hours changes in these projects. So this is what the beautiness of the research scholar as well as a supervisors. You can track your papers, you can track the work in a overlay. Now, this is what we are talking about, the structure of the papers. The structure is exactly a title, author information, abstract, keywords, introduction, literature review, concept annotations, algorithm results, experimental setup, result and discussion, analysis of the results, conclusions, scope for further research or future research, references. Now coming, okay, there are different conferences are also available. Some universities, they have considered 2 journals, 2 conference, or 2 journal, 1 conference where the conference will publish, where your article will be published. It may be a conference or a journal. It may be an international or national journal. Fine. Most of the conference is now Springer edited volumes are available. SCM, okay, they are also conducting the conferences. IEEE conference is going on. Their proceedings will be published in Scopus Index. Fine. If it is Scopus Index, go for. If it is not Scopus Index, never required to submit your quality works. Now, this is what edited volumes. Now, this is some of the indexing bodies. Now, what we look, as a supervisor, I look for the indexing, whether our work is published in the indexed journal or not, indexed conference or not. Now, this is what a Scopus indexed. Right? Now, then after, what is the Hatch index? What is the Hatch index of this journal? What is the number of citations are available? Fine. Now, whether it is a DBLP means list of database programs in your repository, or sometimes it is called as earlier it was called as a list of papers in their database. Now, list of publication year wise, Google Scholar citation is also available. So there are different indexing bodies are available who will standardize your papers. Now, nowadays what? We need a Aadhaar card. Everyone in the citizen, they require a Aadhaar card. Similarly, those who are doing a research, they must and should have a research guide. The research guide, that particular ID you should have. Otherwise, what will happen? The problem will create nowadays. The good journal, they are asking for submitting your research scholar details. So like the human being, the Aadhaar card is mandatory. Similarly, as a researcher, we require a research guide. Fine. Now that research guide is most important. As a scholar, you need to update your publications in your research scholars. Nowadays, what will happen if your article get published in the Scopus is aligned with your research guide. Automatically, it is reflected. And very soon it will be, Scopus will be linked with Vidwan ID very soon. Now Scopus, more and less, the Scopus is what it is use the amount of a database which contains abstract as well as citation of for academic journal articles. So Scopus is under Elsevier publications. It nearly it covers 22,000 titles from over 5,000 publishers, which 20,000 are peer-reviewed journals in the scientific, technical, medical, and social sciences. So these are the story of Scopus publications. But you know, the Scopus is a bibliographic databases. Now, how do you know that it is a good journal? By seeing the impact factor? Yes, it is one of the parameter, but not merely okay. We will check it is the standard parameters. It is one of the parameters that we will check. Some of the journals are having 15 impact factors. Normally IEEE transactions are impact factor 2, impact factor 3, impact factor 4, 6 or 0.2, 0.5 transactions. Some of the journals that is a impact factor 14, 23, 24 like this. One article that I will show you, okay, one journal that is impact factor is 27, and that journal is normally accepting only for survey papers. So those who are okay, thinking that writing a survey paper is easy, and I will first publish a survey paper because of I have been instructed. No, survey is the last work. Survey paper or systematic literature review is the never-ending process. It is a continuous process. So that for publishing only particular journal, that is particular articles, particular work, there are different kinds of journals are available. So one journal is called as the Springer Artificial Intelligence Review. This journal normally accept only for survey papers. IEEE tutorial in survey. I will show you so that you will understand. So there is some divisions are available. Fine, very interesting thing. Where? IEEE tutorials and survey. Its impact factor is near about 25. You can check it. Yeah, it is there in 25. 0.25. Now, what kind of article the journal will publish? It is published only the survey and tutorials. It was one of the content on my slides. The form of the publications. It may be a survey paper, maybe a tutorial paper, maybe a short paper, maybe a review paper, maybe your long papers. So the survey and tutorials. This journal only looks for survey and tutorial purpose, and impact factor is 25. This is the IEEE brand, IEEE Communication and Survey and Tutorials. Right? You can also check it. Another journal I will show you, that is Artificial Intelligence Review Journals. Now this is a Springer, impact factor is 8.9 something. Okay, in 8.139. Now this journal only publish the artificial intelligence related survey paper. Artificial intelligence related survey papers. Fine. So there are different forms are available where you can publish your work. Fine. So this is what we call as impact factor. Impact factor is not the highest measurement to decide whether the journal is good or bad. Fine. There are other parameters also available, like H index is available. This H index, item index. Okay, your other indexing bodies. Fine. These are the major parameters. What is the review time? Who are the reviewers? Who is the editor chief? Who are the area manager of the particular work? Everything that we need to check. Then after we need to submit the articles. The major thing is submission to first review is most important for a scholar. Submission to first decision, that is most important. Once the decision made within 2 months or 3 months or 4 months, go for the particular journals. Sorry. Now this is impact factor calculations. More or less everybody know this concept. Nothing big task to know how exactly the journals are calculating the impact factors. Citations y minus 1 plus citation y minus 2 divided by publications y minus 1 plus publication y minus 2. This is in this way they are going to calculate the impact factor. For if you want to know what exactly impact factor of the journal, then you need to calculate last 3 years data. So once you have this 3 years data of a particular journal, then you can calculate the impact factor, whether the impact factor is exactly true or false. This is what citations I10 indexed and H indexed. So I10 means how many articles 10 times cited, more than 10 times or equal to cited that particular I10 index. H index is how many articles they have published. So I will show you one of the where exactly this information available, or here you will write. I will show you my, now this is the information. The citation is 769, H index is 13. That means see I10 index, that is 18. That indicates that 18 times or 18 articles more than 10 times cited, more than 10 times cited. That is what I10 index. Fine. You can also check. Fine. These are the number of times cited by, it is here. So these are the major parameters to decide which journal is the best journals. Now, gaps in the literature and problem identification, this is major things. So that's why I told, there is the word I have used several times, that is called as a best paper or a seed paper. Now, who will give you? Your only supervisor will provide you the seed paper. Once you will get it, then you will backtrack all this work and make a tabular form to represent the gaps in the literatures. So once you will assimilate all the literature gap, then you will try to define your problem statements. Fine. So that's why I told there may be an incremental research or original research. Anyhow, you will get a problem statements by seeing the literature gap, what your peers they have done, what exactly they have missed out, what exactly where exactly they have missed, what is the scope for improvement. You just devise, you work on their data set, you work on their problem statement, then only you'll try to get your new work. Now this is what the flow of information through the different phases of a systematic review. Once you will submit the article, then what exactly happened, under what strategy they have followed. So this is what the big question mark. What is the big question mark? Whenever you are reviewing a paper, whenever you are reading a paper, don't assume that the scholar has written accurately. Don't assume anything. Don't blindly accept their results. Don't blindly accept the statement what the researcher has written. That's why 3 times I told you need to have your best paper. You need to have your seed paper. Then only you will get your problem statements. Then only you will go for make a systematic literature review, make a tabular form, try to find the gap in their literature or in their work. So many times they have written accuracy is 99.9. They have written, you also find, you also write in your paper, XYZ have done the experimental work and they found accuracy 99.9, then where exactly novelty is there? Now, what the work that you have done? They have written, you are reading, and you are also writing in your paper in a literature form. No, don't assume. That's why, fine, we have a mechanism to catch hold the data fabrications part. Now you try to download the data set, try to use their algorithm, you implement it, and you prove that this algorithm works. Efficiency is 89%, but the scholar mentioned 99.9. Once it is published, it is published. We cannot claim, we cannot write to the editor-chief, they have done the mistakes, but this is the culture that you should. Take their own data set, take their own algorithm, implement your problem statement, implement their problem statement, make a study, make the gap. What exactly the gap is available. Don't accept the statement unless you are convinced. Now, how will you convince? You need to work. You need to do the more experimental work. Fine. Their problem statement, their data set, their sample size, then only you will be convinced once you will achieve the results. So the best way is to identify the problem for research is to put a big question mark on your forehead while reading a paper. Why, when, how? These three questions that you need to ask yourself while you read their paper. Read any kind of seed paper. Read any paper. So if you ask why the scholar mentioned, how they will mention, and under what circumstance they have mentioned the statements, if you ask, then definitely you will deep dive. You need to deep dive their research first. Fine. So once you deep dive, then only you will convince whether it is right or it is wrong. This is one of the articles. Let us see how exactly the flows are there. First, once you submit, it is an incomplete stage. It is an incomplete stage. Then the editor-chief will screen the not novelty. The editor-chief will screen the scope, the aim and scope, whether exactly meet to the journal or not. If it is meet, go for review purpose. Otherwise, directly the paper will be rejected during screening. Now, if it is exactly meet the criteria, then it go for under review. Then after author revising, the editor-chief will ask you to revise your paper according to the comments. That is called as author revising. Then re-review waiting. The author needs to wait for re-review. Fine. Then final review over, whether you will get accepted or rejected. If it is accepted, then what will happen? You need to wait. You need to wait. The editor board or the production house, they will contact you for proofreading purpose. So like this, there are different stages are there, and it is also depend upon the particular journal to journals. Now, this is what the Indian Science, they normally follow this process. Now you check this ones, 30 to 60% paper rejected. Now, how many editors are there? The standard journals I'm talking about, more than 13,000 editors are there. Then this they reject this number of papers, 30 to 60 papers. Why? Why they are rejecting the paper? Because of novelty. Because of novelty. See, this much number of the reviewers are available. Now, 12.6 million articles are available, and more than 700 million downloads by more than 1100 million researchers in more than 120 countries. So this content that I have taken from this Elsevier, it is there in the websites. You can go and you download everything. So this concept that we have discussed, either full articles or letters or soft communication, this is most important. Before submitting your articles, you need to write the letters. Fine. Letter of recommendations. Fine. Now, this is we have discussed. Now, you ask yourself whether you are ready to publish a paper. You ask. Now, not ready means you are still working the old problems, still you are adopting the old methodology. Fine. Now you don't have the right conclusions. You can't state that problem properly. Data fabrication done. That's why you got a wrong results because of duplication of published work. Those work already published, you are reworking. It is not a incremental work. I suggest you go for incremental work, but it is not incremental work. It is duplicative work. The work which is already published, what you have done, you have taken their data set, taken their algorithm, and you write your own way. This is what the duplication of work. 90% work nowadays, they are going for this strategies. So that's why this much of rejection during screening only. Now you ask yourself whether you are having a good results, you are using a new method. Is there any significant enhancement of the published work is there? Now, whether you follow up-to-date review, whether there is a novelty or not. If you ask yourself if all these points that you have stated properly, then go for submitting the journals into the journals. That I told, okay. The Elsevier, we have a tool that is called as journal suggesters. Now, every journal, they will provide you the guidelines for submitting the articles. So this is one of the publication house Elsevier. The Elsevier, they have a guide for authors. You click this guide for author, they will give you a tour, complete tour. Sorry. This is the title. You check this structure, title, the abstract, keywords. Now search and find introduction, method, result and discussion. Tell your story in terms of conclusion. Then those who help for doing the research, you acknowledge them, mention the references and supporting material. Sometimes some of the journal, they're asking to upload the supporting materials. Now this is what the keywords. Now effective manuscript titles, some of the examples are available. In your titles, there should not, it should be error free. Otherwise, during screening only, your article is going to be rejected. Now this is what original title. Now this is the revised title. You check this ones. Now your title should be right in such a way that the reader should attract. Fine. And they try to deep dive your articles so that they will get that good information. Your title should be accurate, unambiguous, specific, and complete one. It should be a concise. I told it should be a concise, no jargon words, no abbreviations that is available in your titles. Otherwise, paper get rejected during screening only. Abstract, keep it as brief as possible. Summarize the problems, method, results, and conclusion. Make sure it is clearly written and easy to understand. Make sure it is accurate and specific while also being catchy. Write the last so accurately reflects the content of the paper. This is what abstract. Abstract is a summarization of your work which you have done either 3 months or 5 months or 18 months or 2 years. You need to summarize your work within 150 to 200 words. Now the introduction. See, in introduction, what will happen? Explain the problem, describe your approach. This is also the slides that is available in LCBS. Now the methods that indicates that describe how the problem was studied. Include the detailed information to allow the repetitions. Do not describe previously published procedures, but cite clearly and implement whatever exactly you have done. Now the results that includes only the data of primary importance. That is the main and unexpected findings. Use the subheadings to keep the results. Use the figures and provide statistical information. Normally, results and tables, results are available in the tabular form. This is the right things and this is the wrong things. We cannot write the results in a paragraph. Better we'll assimilate and will produce in a tabular form. Discussion that indicates interpretation of results. Make the discussion correspond to the results and complement them. Now avoid the statement that go beyond what the results that suppose. And don't write unnecessary things in the discussion. You write what the experiment that you have done, what the result that you found. Conclusion. Now, most of the times what will happen, students, the researchers, my scholars, and I will give the example of my scholars. Now, he directly copied the abstract and put into the conclusions. How come it is abstract is different, your conclusion is different? Do not repeat the same statement again and again. Some statement will be in abstract, some statement will be introduction, some statement will be conclusion. Avoid it. Do not repeat the same statements. Don't write the same thing in a different way because all the scholars are doing a paraphrasing. Right? Same statement, don't write in a different way in a different sections. Be clear to help the reviewers and editors to judge your work. Do not complicate, do not write unnecessary things so that the reviewers, they will not understand properly. Once they will not understand, your work is simply gone. Once the experiment over, you can also highlight some of the future, what exactly you wanted to do, or you can suggest some future experiment. You can also discuss some of the extension or application that you are going to find. Do not repeat the results or anything in the abstracts. So those who help, you need to acknowledge. Now this is what the reference that I told, how to put the reference. The process of writing, building the article, you check it. This is for title, abstract and keyword, conclusion, introduction, method, result, discussion, figure, table. Different stages are available. In a different stages, different section need to be built. Now revise before submission. This is what draft 1, you check it. Now some modification done, after revision, this is revision done, the supervisor. Some modification done, again draft 2 prepare, again revise, then draft, then revise, draft and revise, and draft and revise. Right? This is only the work that scholar need to do, scholar as well as guide. So before revise anything, don't send or submit your article blindly to the journals. Now this is a cover letter. The cover letter you need to write clearly what exactly you are working on, which area you are working, what the experimental you have done, what exactly the novelty in your work that you need to write. That is sometimes we call as the highlights. Your highlight is different and covering letter is different, but I'm talking about the highlight. Highlight indicates that what exactly the work you have done in a 3 or 4 sentence that you need to write. Now this is a conflict of interest that you know, okay, not how it will work. Let us see, okay, the paper is either accepted or rejected. There are a lot of, okay, the hazards that are available. Now this is the paper, fine, and these are the reviewers. These are the reviewers, fine. These are the different reviewers. They will check in a different stages, fine. If you clear all the stages, then only you will be reached that paper is accepted. Otherwise, during this, fine, if someone will point out the problems, your paper is going to be rejected. This is what the flow, okay, that you know how exactly the paper that you submit into a journals, to how it will go to editors and how it will go to reviewers, when it will accept, when it will reject, fine. What exactly the reviewers looking for? The reviewers always looking for originality. The reviewer try to get the content, clear progression through the paper, whether the author presented well or not presented well, whether the author highlights their importance, highlights their hypothesis, highlight their problem statements, whether there is some originalities available or not. These are exactly looking for as a reviewers. Fine. The peer review, you know, this is what all about your peer review process. Fine. Thank you, my dears.
Respected sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Sir, can you share this PPT, sir? It is very useful to us, sir.
Okay. Sure. I will share to the correspondent. Fine.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Right.
Thank you, Dr. Neelam Vidampare, for granting us with the certainties of research. You have familiarized us meticulously with the nuances of research, like structure, impact factor, titles, type sheets, research gate, types of questions which a researcher needs to ask himself. Thank you so much. Okay,
Thank you,
now I request the participants for their questions if they have any. Dear participants, if you have any questions, kindly ask.
Any questions?
No, sir.
I may be wrong. Okay. I also need the information from you.
Kindly mute your mic. Okay. I have one question.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah. Actually, sir, what if the research paper gets rejected? Fine. Shall
Why
we
the paper?
quit?
Okay.
Yeah. What? No, it's not why. My question basically is what? What if the research paper gets rejected? Shall a researcher quit or redraft? If the researcher has to redraft the paper, on what points should he or she focus while reframing the paper? That's my question.
Yeah, I got it. I will give a good example. One of my scholars paper get rejected last month. It is very unfortunate. No comment was there. Only suggestions are available.
Do they
Only
only
suggestion,
reject
4
it?
suggestions.
Do they reject the paper, or they write after rejecting the paper, they write comments also?
Yes, once rejected, then the journal will give a suggestion.
Okay.
The journal will give a suggestion, suggestion that these are the points, fine, so that your paper rejected, fine. If you wish, you carry out your research and resubmit. So I will give a best example. So I told you last month happens, the editor-chief, they have rejected the paper basing upon the suggestion. It should not. It is unethically correct. I do agree because it is a top class journal. Fine. So reviewer is given the four suggestions. By basing upon these four suggestions, editor-chief rejected. That means suggestion never leads to a rejection. Suggestion must leads to the minor revision. But indeed what happened, the paper get rejected. On that case, what will happen? Never get worried. Rework, little bit rework, whatever the suggestions they have given, fine, you rework and try to submit the same journal, okay, so that the paper will be published.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. We'll love to listen from you in the very near future. Now,
Thank you.
shall we start with
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
now-
okay, right. Okay, thank you very much. Giving this wonderful opportunity, and it's my pleasure. Fine. I wish the program will success. Thank you.